5 seconds left on the clock, down by 1 point, overtime, and everything I'd ever wanted was about to either become mine or slip through my fingers forever. But let me back up, because to understand why those 5 seconds changed everything, you need to know who I was before them. I was invisible. That's the best way to describe it. I'd walk into a classroom and it was like I didn't exist. No heads turned, no one smiled. The cute girls looked right through me like I was made of glass. And honestly, it was killing me inside. I wasn't depressed exactly, but I was lonely in that specific teenage way where you're surrounded by hundreds of people every day and somehow feel completely alone. I'd watch the popular kids, the ones I'm talking about, and I'd study them like a scientist. I'd watch how everyone leaned in when they spoke, how people laughed at their jokes even when they weren't funny, how girls looked at them with that particular kind of attention that made my stomach twist with envy. They were treated differently, like they mattered, and I wanted that so badly I could taste it. So while everyone else was out at parties or hanging at the mall or doing whatever normal high school kids do, I was at the gym near my house, just me and a basketball. Pathetic, right? But that ball was the only friend I had, and at least when I was shooting, I wasn't thinking about how lonely I was. I told myself I was working towards something. I told myself that if I could just get good enough, if I could just become someone, then I'd finally be happy. Then I'd finally feel like I mattered. 10th grade comes around and my parents transfer me to a new school. Better academics, they said. Fresh start, they said. I spent that entire summer in the gym, 6 hours a day, every single day. I'd like to tell you it was discipline, but the truth is I just didn't have anywhere else to be or anyone else to be with. First day at the new school, I'm determined. I'm introducing myself to everyone. I'm talking to older kids, younger kids, even trying to flirt with girls, which went about as well as you'd expect. I was trying so hard to force my way into the popular group that I could feel people pulling away from me. Within a couple months, I was alone again, just me and my basketball, like always. Then basketball season starts. Tryouts come around. Nobody knows me. Nobody's paying attention to me. I'm just another kid on the court. Until I start playing. Something happened when I stepped onto that court. All those hours in the gym, all that loneliness channeled into perfecting my jump shot, it all came out. I went from invisible to impossible to ignore. Suddenly, I wasn't a chameleon anymore. I was a lion. People noticed. I made the team, got some respect from the other athletes, which felt good, but it wasn't until the first game of the season that everything changed. My new school was playing my old school, longtime rivals. The entire school showed up. The gym was packed wall to wall. The energy was insane, and I was terrified. I'm playing in front of hundreds of people who don't know me, who have no reason to care about me, and I'm thinking about all those hours alone in the gym, wondering if any of it even mattered. First quarter, I'm a mess, missing easy shots, forgetting plays, but somewhere in the second quarter, something clicks. I find my rhythm. The ball starts going in, easy shots, then harder ones, and shots I probably had no business taking. Fourth quarter hits, and I've scored 36 points. People are on their feet. They're chanting. They know my name now.
But we're tied. The game goes to overtime. Overtime is chaos, back and forth. Nobody can pull ahead. My heart's pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. The clock's ticking down, and we're still down by 1 point. 5 seconds left. I get the ball. Everything slows down. I can see the defender. I can see the basket. I can hear the crowd, but it's like they're underwater. I shoot. Boom. Game winner. Pandemonium. For the first time in my entire life, every single person in that gym is looking at me. Not through me, at me. And it feels incredible. The next day at school, I'm a celebrity. Freshmen are congratulating me, seniors are giving me high fives, girls are smiling at me in the hallway, teachers are shaking my hand. I'm walking through the halls thinking, this is it. This is what I've been working for. I'm finally happy. Every handshake felt like a drug. Every smile, every congratulations, every moment of attention was like a hit of something I'd been starving for my entire life. I was addicted. My ego was through the roof. I had status, I had validation, I had everything I thought I needed. 2 weeks later, it was over. The handshakes stopped. The congratulations dried up. Girls stopped smiling. Teachers went back to being teachers. The attention faded like it was never there. And suddenly, I was right back where I started, except now it was worse, because now I knew what validation felt like. Now I knew what I was missing. I was more unhappy after achieving everything I wanted than I was before I had it. How was that possible? Here's what I didn't understand then, but I understand now. I was giving everyone else the remote control to my emotions. I was saying, you decide if I'm happy. You decide if I matter. You decide if I'm worth something. And that's a game you can never win. Before the game, I was unhappy because people didn't know me. After the game, I was happy because they did. 2 weeks later, I was unhappy because the attention faded. At no point, not once, did I stop to consider that maybe my happiness was supposed to come from inside me, that maybe I was the only one who could decide if I mattered. And here's the thing, this doesn't end in high school. We carry this pattern into our entire lives. We tell ourselves we'd be happy if we got the promotion, if we had the six-pack, if we drove the right car, if we found someone to love us, if we had more followers, if people would just validate us, just see us, just tell us we matter. But if your self-worth comes from outside of you, if your happiness depends on what other people think or say or do, you're destined to live on an emotional roller coaster that never stops. The highs will be high, but the lows will be devastating. And some people ride that roller coaster their entire lives without ever realizing they're the ones who built it. I spent years chasing external validation before I finally understood this. And the moment I understood it, everything changed. Not my circumstances, not other people, me. I changed. So here's what I want you to hear. That game-winning shot didn't make me happy. The attention didn't make me happy. The status didn't make me happy. Those things gave me a temporary high that faded faster than I could process it. Real happiness, real peace, real self-worth, that only came when I stopped waiting for other people to give it to me and started generating it myself. You are the only person who can decide if you matter. Not your boss, not your followers, not your partner, not the crowd. You. And the moment you take that responsibility back, the moment you stop handing the remote control to everyone around you, that's when you become free. The game-winning shot got me 5 seconds of glory. Taking responsibility for my own happiness gave me a lifetime of peace. One of those things was worth it, and it wasn't the shot.